Let me be brutally honest with you. This world doesn't care about your excuses, your pain, or your past. Life doesn't hand out sympathy trophies. The only thing it respects is results. And if you want to rise, if you want to earn your place, there's only one way: you have to win. Period. No one's coming to push you. No one's checking on you at 5 a.m. when that alarm rings. No one is making sure you're doing the reps, reading the books, or facing your demons. That's on you. And if you can't do it for you, you'll lose. Life will eat you alive, because life is a ruthless battlefield, and victory only goes to those who fight for it like it's the only damn option they have. You want to be successful? Get ready to go to war. Not with the world, but with the weakest parts of yourself. That voice in your head whispering, maybe you're not good enough. Shut it up with work. Drown it in discipline. Prove it wrong with every drop of sweat, every second of pain you embrace, because comfort never made a winner. And talent without obsession is wasted potential. No short. There are no handouts. You're going to have to earn everything. And the moment you think you've done enough, that's the moment you fall behind. They're forged in silence, in suffering, in moments when no one is watching, but you keep grinding anyway. You have to win, not just to prove them wrong, but to prove you're not the quitter you used to be. Winning is not about trophies or applause. It's about beating that version of you that gave up 100 times. It's about becoming someone no one thought you could be, not even you. So stop playing small. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop hoping someone saves you. Put your back against the wall. Turn your pain into purpose. Turn your struggle into strength and go get what's yours. You have to win, because losing is not an option. Winning starts with ownership. You will never win if you keep blaming the world, your upbringing, or your circumstances. Let's make it clear. Winners own everything in their lives. The good, the bad, the ugly. The moment you point a finger is the moment you lose control. Because as long as it's someone else's fault, it's someone else's job to fix it. And that means you stay weak, stay broke, stay average. When you finally get sick of your own lies, you take the first step toward becoming dangerous. Owning your life means you wake up and say, whatever happens today, it's on me. No more excuses about why you're out of shape, why you're broke, why you haven't chased your dreams. If you're still breathing, you still have time to change it, but only if you own it. This world respects those who rise despite the odds. It doesn't matter if you came from nothing. It doesn't matter if you failed 100 times. What matters is whether you have the courage to say, I'm responsible, because that statement gives you your power back. Power to grind, power to overcome, power to destroy the old version of you. Taking ownership is brutal. It means looking in the mirror and calling yourself out. It means realizing that you are the problem. And more importantly, most people run from that truth. But if you face it head on, you'll find your strength. That's where transformation begins. The weak wait for someone to rescue them. The strong rescue themselves. They stop waiting for permission and start acting with purpose. Ownership doesn't come easy. It comes with shame, pain, and the weight of truth. But that's exactly what shapes a winner. So today, own your life, own your decisions, own your results. Because until you do, you'll always be a slave to your own excuses. But once you do, you'll walk the road of warriors. The ones who built something from nothing. The ones who win because they refused to blame and chose to conquer instead. Discipline is greater than motivation. Motivation is a liar. It's there when it feels good, when the weather's perfect, when you're rested, when the stars align. But discipline shows up when nothing else does. Discipline is the savage voice inside you that says, get up. When every part of your body screams, stay down. That's what separates winners from everyone else. It's not the fire you feel when you're inspired. It's the grind you choose when you feel nothing at all. People chase motivation like it's some kind of magical fuel. They wait to feel ready, to feel inspired. But guess what? Champions don't wait. They don't need fireworks and music to act. They wake up tired, broken, sore, and they still go. Because discipline has nothing to do with how you feel. It's a contract you made with yourself that doesn't expire. And every time you keep that contract, even when it hurts, you build something no one can take from you, self-respect. Discipline is your shield against weakness. When motivation dies, discipline is what keeps you moving forward. That's why you need to train your mind to do what needs to be done especially when it's the last thing you want to do. The people who win in life aren't the ones who feel good every day. They're the ones who get the job done regardless. You have to rewire your brain to understand that this is a weapon. It's not a punishment. It's what forges your edge in a soft world. While everyone else is quitting, resting, complain out there, putting in the work, alone, quietly, repetitively. And those hours, those moments when you showed up without feeling like it, that's where the breakthrough lies. Let everyone else keep waiting for the perfect moment. Let them keep chasing feel-good highs. But you build habits that don't bend. You show up every day. Whether it's raining, whether you're exhausted, whether no one sees you. Because you know the truth discipline will carry you through the storms that motivation can't survive. So don't ask yourself how you feel today. Ask yourself what needs to be done and then do it without questions, without complaints. Every act of discipline is a brick, and brick by brick, you build a mindset that cannot be broken. That's how you win. That's how you separate yourself from the rest. That's how legends are made, not by sparks of emotion, but by relentless discipline in the dark. Saying pain is your training ground. Pain isn't the enemy. It's the instructor you've been running from your whole life. While most people avoid pain, winners lean into it. They understand that pain isn't there to break them. It's there to build them. It's the test that separates the weak from the forged. Pain is not just suffering, it's transformation. It's the heat that hardens steel, the resistance that creates power. And if you can learn to endure it, embrace it, even chase it, there's no limit to what you can become. The truth is, comfort makes you soft. The more you avoid pain, the more fragile you become. You start craving ease, safety, and praise. But life doesn't reward that mindset. Life respects the savage who walks in the fire willingly and says, let's go. Because every time you suffer and don't quit, you sharpen the blade. Train when it hurts. When your lungs burn, when your mind begs you to stop, you earn strength that no one can hand you. Pain teaches you lessons that pleasure never will. It teaches you discipline, resilience, and perspective. It strips away your ego and exposes the real you, the weak thoughts, the doubts, the limits you've placed on yourself. And that's the moment you can either break or build. Most people tap out. But the few who stay in the ring, who endure the discomfort, they come out harder, sharper. You grow through struggle. Not from winning easily, not from taking shortcuts, but from facing battles that stretch your soul. Every tear, every scar, every ache, it's all proof that you chose to show up when it was hard. And that's what champions do. They suffer on purpose because they know suffering is the path to supremacy. So don't flinch when it hurts. Don't run from the burn. Smile when the pain kicks in, because that's when the transformation begins. You're not here to be comfortable. You're here to grow, to suffer, and to dominate what once broke you. Pain is not the end. It's the beginning of the version of you that wins. The version that doesn't fold. The version that walks into every battle with scars, grit, and a bulletproof mind. You want strength? Then stop searching for ease. Seek pain, chase it. Learn from it. Use it as a tool. Because if you can make pain your ally, you become unstoppable. You become unbreakable. And most of all, you become worthy of the win. The strong warriors. The real work. It happens in the shadows, in silence. Away from the crowds, the cameras, the applause. That's where warriors are built. When no one's watching and you still choose to show up. When there's no praise, no validation, no one clapping for you. And you grind anyway. That's the difference. That's the battlefield. If you need noise to stay disciplined, you'll break when the silence hits. But if you can thrive in the quiet, you become dangerous. Everybody wants attention. They want credit before they've done the work. They post about the grind instead of living it. But the real savages, they don't talk. They don't advertise. They just execute. They wake up in the dark, train when others sleep, bleed behind closed doors, and they do it without a single soul knowing. Because they understand the truth validation is for the insecure. Mastery is for the silent. Silence gives you clarity. It strips away the distractions and forces you to confront your weaknesses. In that silence, you hear your excuses clearly. You face your laziness, your self-doubt, your procrastination. And that's where you build the mental toughness most people never find. Because they never sit in the quiet long enough to meet themselves. They keep drowning in noise, hoping covers up their lack of discipline. If you truly want to win, stop telling the world your every move. Stop needing the world's applause just to do your job. Learn to suffer in solitude. Learn to get up when no one's cheering. Learn to grow in the dark. Because when you rise from that, when you finally step into the spotlight, you'll be a force they can't comprehend. Not because you talked about it, but because you lived it in silence. Most people burn out chasing attention. But you train in silence so when the moment comes, you speak through results, through performance that can't be denied. Let your work be the noise. Let your discipline scream through action, not words. Because the ones who rise highest are the ones who are grinding when no one even knew they existed. So stay quiet, stay focused, stay obsessed. And while the world sleeps on you, build in silence. Then come back with results so loud they'll never forget your name. Nobody cares about your excuses. Let's cut the fluff. Nobody gives a damn about your excuses. Life doesn't stop for your feelings. It doesn't pause because you're tired, broken, or hurting. The world keeps spinning. People keep grinding. And if you stand still making excuses, you'll get left behind. Brutal truth. Excuses are just lies you tell yourself to justify quitting. They're comfort for the weak. And comfort never built a savage. You didn't get enough sleep. You're sore. You're mentally drained. So what? Everyone's tired. Everyone's struggling. But winners show up anyway to feel better. They don't broadcast their pain. They do the work in spite of it. Because they understand this, results don't care about your reasons. You either showed up or you didn't. You either executed or you failed. That's it. Excuses are habits. And once you start feeding them, they multiply. Just this once turns into a lifestyle. You begin lowering your standards, softening your edge, falling back into that average life you swore you'd escape. And every excuse you make becomes a brick in the prison you build around yourself. You want freedom? Then destroy every excuse that tries to take root in your mind. Excuses don't just steal your progress. They rob you of self-respect. Deep down, you know when you're lying to yourself. You know when you're capable but choosing the easy route. That guilt, that shame, it eats at you. And the only way to silence it is to show up, do the more stories. No more justifications, just action. Nobody successful ever said, I made it because I had the best excuses. They made it because they refused to let circumstances define them. They took what they had, even if it was broken, painful, or messy, and they moved forward every single day. That's what separates winners from talkers. Winners execute regardless. Talkers make excuses forever. So from now on, kill your excuses before they kill your goals. When that voice in your head starts whispering reasons to quit, get louder, get aggressive. Tell yourself no one cares. Get it done. And when you start living with that mindset, you stop being a victim and start becoming a machine. A relentless force that doesn't need sympathy, doesn't need applause, and sure hell doesn't need excuses. You. The only real battle, forget everyone else for a minute. The real enemy is not out there. It's inside your head. The one who doubts you. The one who says, you're tired. Take it easy. The one who remembers every failure, every weakness, every moment you gave up. That version of you, the soft one, the scared one, is the one you've got to kill. Because this is you versus you. And if you don't win that war, you'll lose every other battle in your life. It's not about proving the world wrong. That's temporary. That fades. You have to prove yourself wrong. Prove that voice in your head wrong. The one that told you you'll never change, that you'll never make it, that you'll always be the same broken person. That's the real opponent. And every day you wake up, he's waiting, staring back at you in the mirror. Question is, do you fight or do you fold? The hardest battle is the one you fight in silence. No spotlight. Just you and your thoughts. And every time you choose to push forward, when that voice says stop, you weaken the enemy inside. You silence the doubt. You break the old version of yourself piece by piece, workout by workout, day by day. That's how you win. Not in a single moment of glory, but in thousands of brutal internal battles. You'll never conquer the world until you conquer your own mind. You can run 100 miles, lift crazy weights, build massive success. But if you're still controlled by your insecurities, your fear, your past failures, then you haven't won yet. The true mission is to own your own armor, so thick that nothing penetrates. You become your own weapon, self-made, self-forged, self-disciplined. You don't need competition. You don't need someone to chase. You need to turn that chase inward. Chase the best version of you. That relentless, disciplined, obsessed version The one buried under all the lies, doubt, and weakness you've carried for years. That version is in there. But you've got to suffer to bring it out. You've got to go through war with yourself and emerge reborn, sharper. So stop watching others. Stop comparing. Stop blaming. This isn't about them. This isn't about proving anything to the world. This is you vs. you. Every single day. And when you finally dominate the weak version of yourself, that's when you start winning, not just in one area of life, but in everything. That's when you become undeniable. Embrace suffering to find power. You want power. You want greatness. Then stop running from the thing that makes you strong, suffering. Most people do everything they can to avoid pain. They hide from it, numb it, complain about it. But the truth is, suffering is the gateway. It's where your real power is forged. If you want to separate yourself from average, you've got to suffer more than them. Plain and simple. Suffering exposes who you are. It tears down your ego and strips away the lies you tell yourself. When you're suffering, there's no faking it. You find out real fast if you're built for this or not. And that's exactly why you need it. Every time you suffer and don't quit, you send a message to your mind, I can take more. And every time you prove that, your threshold expands, your willpower gets stronger, your mindset becomes bulletproof. Most people think suffering is punishment. It's not. It's preparation. It's sharpening your blade in the fire so when life cuts deep, you don't break. When the storm hits, you're already soaked in pain and ready to go. While others panic, you stay calm because you've been here before. You've suffered in silence, in training, in discipline, and now pain is familiar. It's not your enemy anymore. It's your weapon. You can't grow without it. Growth comes from breaking down, from grinding past your limits, from choosing the harder path again and again until the struggle becomes your comfort zone. That's when you become unstoppable. When the world starts to fear your resilience. Not because you're invincible, but because you refuse to break, no matter how bad it hurts. People want to win, bleed. They want the crown, but not the scars. That mindset is weak. You've got to learn to chase the pain. Run into it. Let it mold you. Every rep mile that drains you, every early morning that tests your soul. That's where the transformation lies. You don't become great on a soft path. You become great when the road rips you apart and you keep walking anyway. So the next time you feel pain, lean into it. Embrace it. Smile at it. Because that's the exact moment you're building something nobody can take from you, real, earned internal power. And the ones who master suffering, they're the ones who don't just survive this life. They dominate it.